Okay, just a quick video today to say that there's a few more firmware updates for a few different cameras across the Lumix line. So there's one for the S1H, there's one for the S9 and one for the G100D, which of course is in the other tab, so we can look at that in a second. But we've essentially got, if we start with the S1H, we can just click on that and we can have a quick look what's in here. So just a small firmware update. We've got the added pop-up message while using a Panasonic collapsible lens, which we've had across a few of the other cameras. And then you've got improved operational stability. So, you know, potentially a few kind of little bug fixes and bits in there alongside with this one. So, you know, worth updating if you've got that camera. It's the first real kind of update that's come for quite a long time on that camera, so it's kind of worth updating to that one. And then we've got the S9, obviously a much more recent camera, and then if we click on that, you can see it's a bit of a bigger update. So we've got a lot of these bits in here, and a lot of them are kind of like security improvements, and some of them are kind of pushed by the new sort of EU laws, and you can kind of see that a little bit further down. But you can kind of see in there it says sort of when directly connecting the camera to the camera and smartphone, it's been changed so that you kind of always need the password authentication, and TKIP encryption method isn't supported anymore. You've got the no encryption option in the network authentication isn't supported anymore. Image transfer feature to PC via Wi-Fi has been removed, and I know there are some people out there that actually like and use these features. So it's one of those things where, you know, you really don't want to be sat on an older version of firmware, but at the same time, if it's something you do use and you do want, then, you know, potentially you might want to kind of hold off. But it's a bit of a tricky one. It's one of those things where some of them, like I say, they're only for certain units anyway in certain territories, so not everything relates to all of them. And then in the other improvements, you've actually got like startup speed improvements, which is a real bugbear for a lot of people across a lot of the cameras. So, you know, it's one of those things where if you want this, you kind of will lose this, and it's not a big deal for everyone. You know, some people use these features, some people don't. But, you know, in the other improvements, you've got the startup speed improvements, which are always welcome on any of the cameras. You know, hopefully that will be rolled out across a few more of the cameras as well. I know they have improved it a lot on some of them, like the S5 Mark II. And then you've got operational stability updates again. So, you know, give it a read, but in my opinion, it's sort of always worth updating to the latest firmware, you know, because the S9 certainly going to be getting more anyway. So, you know, you're sort of eventually, if you want to keep the camera up to date, you're going to have to kind of accept that these bits have changed in it. And then onto the Micro Four Thirds, like I say, we've got one in there. We've got the G100D, and we can just click on that. And you can see it's more or less exactly the same things that I've just said. So, you know, all of these kind of Wi-Fi changes, like security changes and bits, and then improved operational stability. So, you know, it's more or less the same update as the S9 got. And I would imagine we're going to kind of see more updates roll into other cameras as well in the kind of near future. So that's just a kind of handful of the kind of cameras there. But yeah, like I say, if you've got one of those cameras, just to say, new firmware there, you know, upgrade to it if you want to, but just to know that it's kind of there. So yeah, hopefully you found that helpful. If you did, give the video a like. If you want to see more Lumix content, then please subscribe to the channel.